I think another compelling story, Māra, who's the CEO and co-founder of a company called PLÜKT. They're a family enterprise. They position themselves as a Nordic premium tea brand and have, what they call caffeine-free teas born in the Nordics. So we're extraordinarily excited and thrilled to have Māra join us here today. So Māra, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Liiva, Lauris. It's a pleasure to be here today. My name is Māra Lieplapa, and I'm really happy to tell you more about PLÜKT, which is a premium herbal tea brand. And we call ourselves the most sustainable tea out there, as we are among 2% of tea manufacturers in the world creating truly sustainable tea. Some figures about ourselves before we move on. First of all, within 1.5 years, we have created plant-based tea bags, which are compostable and biodegradable. We are also pioneers of Nordic tea culture with our black and green teas that are entirely caffeine-free. And finally, we are represented in more than 20 countries in about 230 independent stores. And in our assortment, to give you an idea, are bag teas with 4 flavors. And we specialize also in premium and high-end design by featuring the rich biodiversity in Northern Europe. We also have loose leaf and flower teas, which are really nice if tea experts want to create their own tea blends. And what is really important to know about PLÜKT teas is that we work only with wildlife herbs, meaning that we promote biodiversity and how to preserve it, as well as we want to feature the rich flavor, taste, and aroma of these herbs. And finally, we also have cold brew teas that are rich with gut-friendly features, also caffeine-free, like all of our teas, and they are ready in cold, fresh water within 8 minutes. But of course, every brand has their own beginning, and our journey started in my family, as I was raised by parents who are both environmental scientists. And of course, growing up in a family like this, you have spent a lot of time outdoors and a lot of time educating about sustainability, about biodiversity. And as I was growing, I traveled a lot during my university years, and I saw that it's quite exclusive being able to grow in an area where you can experience this kind of connection and wilderness. So from then on, it was my mission to find a way through a business or through a production or a service how to let other people feel this kind of connection between nature and themselves. And during all the university years, I was able to go also to exchange studies in China, where I saw this huge tea market. It was very traditional, but I thought, why we have never thought of our own Nordic tea culture? Because we have more than 1,300 herbs that we can technically drink as herbal tea. And yes, after returning from China, I invited my mom, who is a herbologist, who's an environmental scientist, to join on this journey. So we merged my interest for internationalization for cultures with her knowledge and experience. So then we looked at the problem in the tea industry, and we're looking for opportunity how to solve it. And what we knew at that moment was that on average, a consumer uses about 3 cups of tea per day. But the bad thing is that 96 to 98% of all of these tea bags contains plastic and microplastic, meaning that if you really go and want to experience like a healthy tea time, most probably you don't have a chance to do that unless you switch to loose teas. But knowing the schedules, the routine of a modern consumer, they want to brew tea quickly, but at the same time also healthy. So we worked for about 1.5 years to find plant-based tea bags that would allow us to offer entirely sustainable tea times, so that people could just enjoy tea naturally and healthy. And today, as I mentioned, we work with more than 22 countries, And we have distributors in Africa, in Australia, South Korea, but we do not have a distributor in US yet. But we, for the past 4 years, we have worked with more than 100 independent retailers, restaurants, boutique stores, as well as some hotels in US. And it's been a really nice experience. And we started in US market 4 years ago, and especially with our black tea that is made from a local fireweed herb. We ferment it for about 2 weeks until it's a bit roasted and tastes really similar to black tea, but it's caffeine free. And we decided to propose one product at first in e-commerce platforms, like for example Etsy. And just to make sure that we are in all kind of channels, as we started as a young company, we didn't have any investments or big budgets, so we just registered to all the platforms we could. And today about 70% of everything that we export goes to US. And 4 years ago, also there was a trend with wholesale marketplaces like Faire, like Trada and Trade Square. So we were one of the first companies from Europe to sign up there, which was a huge advantage. There was not that big competition, so we were really good with timing. So I could say that about 100 of all the retailers that we acquired came from these wholesale marketplaces. And also we did go through some subscription boxes, which was really nice to find influencers with our teas. And mainly we work with B2B, as in restaurants and hotels and smaller boutiques, as well as specialty food stores and zero waste stores. And recently we were really happy to be featured by Drew Barrymore, as she selected our Blossom Herbal Tea as the perfect gift for moms. And we were also, regarding this matter, featured in Forbes, which was really nice because we just responsibly fulfilled all the orders incoming from the US, and we didn't think that one of them would be a secret buyer, but it resulted really nicely. And well, a lot of people said that, or asked how we got lucky, but I think it wasn't really the luck alone, because we did take some really good steps to attract this kind of opportunity. And I would probably suggest this also to other companies in Latvia, which is quite affordable thing to do for a smaller or startup brand. Well, first of all, we were looking for a warehouse. It was really tiny, and we found it among the community of Latvians living in US. Mm-hmm. So they really helped us with that. And we sent 2 times per year, sent a bigger stock to this warehouse. That allowed us to fulfill all of the orders within 2 to 3 business days across US, which allowed us to increase the visibility in all of our e-commerce platforms, including Etsy, which we didn't think of anything serious until this moment. And yes, then one of the Etsy marketing managers reached out to us and said that Drew has selected our tea, and there's going to be a nice PR. So these are really practical steps that I think anyone, any Latvian company can take to attract this kind of opportunity. And when we're looking forward into future, as I learned from Amalia's presentation, we are not looking for distributor. We are looking for food broker. So that is really what we're looking for. And instead of, well, the decision is made like that because up to date we have been just supplying directly every independent retailer, which doesn't mean that they're going to be sustainable sales. So we would prefer to have someone representing our brand and providing more opportunities. Also, we would want to focus on few states, for example, California, Oregon, New York, Washington areas, and create presence there, probably through tea testimonials and also exhibitions and trade shows. And at the moment we're looking for, as always, the food broker who would help us to connect with high-end restaurants and hotels, as well as specialty grocery stores. And we are very open also to explore some venue and representation opportunities so that we could meet our community that has been created throughout these 4 years, and actually meet them in person, and probably some of them would become tea ambassadors for us, which is also a good way how to distribute our teas among B2C, for example. So yes, if you would like to request samples, tea samples, or learn more about all of the 25 different flavors that we have, then there is our catalog. And thank you very much. Very happy to have your questions.
I think you can just go one back. Not everyone managed to take a photo of this. This looks just perfect. Such a grab attention. Māra, thank you so much for your presentation. I just love the design of everything, both the slides and the teas, and I think they stand out definitely in the store. And it's so fantastic to hear how you can already learn from Amalia's presentation that was just half an hour ago.
Immediately.
So just like a conclusion, this is not what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
So I think this is what it's all about, to really share the experience, because food and beverages, you're in a set of a different ocean in the sense, and you can really share the experience and help each other out, and that's also what we're here about, to really showcase this. And I can just say good luck, and I'm so excited to see where Drew Barrymore and the effect of that actually leads, and what are your next steps. And I think it's so exciting to see how we can really create the story of not only China being the sole producer of the tea ritual, but also the Nordics. And we have so much to offer, and I think this is a fantastic given. And Amalia can help you a lot with this. So I'm very happy that we have had this chance to bring you two together.
Thank you.
Agreed. So I did have a question. So I'm not a tea person generally. Forgive me that trespass. But what I do find when I drink teas is that the people in the States generally, some of the teas overlap with the teas that are available here in Latvia. So I guess how did you, when you went to the US or other non-Latvian markets, how do you figure out which of the 25 teas to emphasize or to make your tea focus? Do you talk to locals? Because not all 25 are likely to be equally attractive.
Oh, no,
right?
Definitely.
So how do you think through that?
Right, so we focused on the Nordic black tea, and we really pushed forward the keyword decaf or caffeine-free, because, we were looking also from the community that we serve, for example, in Finland, who are also huge coffee drinkers, but still, every coffee drinker has a tea-loving person in a family or in a friend group or in any event, and also in the evenings, you probably don't really drink coffee. So it wasn't about replacing different drinks, it was about offering more opportunities, more choices. So we chose this Nordic black tea as a starter, and then we gradually added 3 more flavors that were tea blends. And something interesting about tea blends is that they're very playful, and they don't serve one specific purpose, for example, just for detox or just for sleep. They're very, if you're not a tea person, you most probably like the tea blends, not the Nordic black tea, because it has a rich bouquet of flavors, not one significant one. Mm-hmm. So people tend to go for that. And also, of course, the visual looks, they played a big role, because we really, those are not drawings on the packages. It's a real life herbarium that we have scanned inside, and to make sure that people really want to learn more about the herbs, it's very visually pleasing as well. So we focused on these 4 flavors.
On behalf of the Latvian American Chamber of Commerce, and I'll let Lieva have the last word, but thank you for joining us. Any questions, as always, reach out to us through our website, latvianchamber.com or info@latvianchamber.com, and we'll do our best to connect you with any of our current guests or previous guests, and to make these mini spotlights as successful as they can be.